Hello and welcome to the creaking salt-soaked tables of the Brazen Hydro Pub in Bilgewater. We're your hosts, Ent Groven,
Conquest,
and today we'll be sharing a pint and talking all things Runeterra and beyond. All right, so we got a pretty big episode. I don't think we're gonna get through all the topics, but this
Never
time,
do.
but this time we actually will talk about Song of Nunu.
All right,
We're gonna hit that. But before we get into Song of Nunu and all that, there's one thing that I really wanted to talk to you about. I wanted to get your opinion on it. Because it's something that is the biggest decision you make in MMO, and it feels like the most significant. Like,
I agree.
The most important decision to me, even more than my class, is this decision.
I completely agree.
Yeah, and that's why I literally won't make a class based on this decision, because this decision is more important for me.
Oh, absolutely. I literally hope they lock off classes depending on your decision here.
Yes, and that decision is character creation. Character creation, very, very important.
Extremely important.
And okay, we've said who those races are.
Yeah.
We know there's gonna be human.
We
We know there's gonna be Vastaya.
Yeah.
We know there's gonna be Yordles.
Yeah, I think those three are guaranteed. There's absolutely no way that we're not going to have a Riot MMO without these three races, right?
But then there's a lot. So humans are pretty. They're not boring, but they're boring. They're all the
I'd
same.
never play one. I will say that much. I'll never play a human.
Yeah.
They are the most popular. No matter what MMO you play, they're going to be the most popular race.
Yeah.
They're literally going to be like 50% of players are
You can relate to them the most. Like if you want to be your character, that's the easiest way to be your character, is to make your character the most like you. And the way to do that, you start off doing that, is making a human.
Yeah, that's the truth of it, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I'm just like, I'm in this fantasy world. I'm gonna be a person.
Yeah. I'm
just gonna be some guy.
There are some variations, like you have in the Freljord, you have Udyr, who's kind of like a bigger guy,
Yeah, that's true.
Then you have some built guys, some skinny guys, there's a variation there.
Yeah. What the heck is Braun? Is he or what's it called? The Forge guy.
You're talking about Ornn.
Ornn. Yeah.
Ornn's a freaking god.
Okay, yeah, so he's just his own thing, right?
Yeah, I mean there are Freljordian gods, but we're definitely not gonna be able to play as.
No. He just always suspiciously looked like a dwarf to me.
Yeah,
and that got me a little excited. I was like, maybe there are dwarves in Runeterra. I don't think there are.
No.
I love me some dwarves, dude. Because like I don't even think there are like League of Legends heroes that are dwarves, right? Like the closest thing we have is Ornn.
Yeah, I don't think there are dwarves in Runeterra. There aren't too many different kinds. There are no dwarfs or elves here. Nope.
Yeah, they avoid mimicking other RPGs. Yeah, I'm just like a very traditional fantasy dude, and that's just me. Like I love my orcs and elves, but also Riot does want to move away from that. So I'm not expecting anything like that for character creation, because those races are just not existent. So this is definitely not going to be your average character creation for your MMO. That's for sure.
So how do you feel about when you're creating your human? Let's say that you are creating a human. How much variation should we be able to do with your human?
Yeah, so
like
I mean, for a single player RPG, right? I say go crazy. Make your character with a nose that extends 4 feet out. Make them stinking green. Just do whatever the heck you want with them. But for an MMO, other people are going to be seeing your character in the world of Runeterra. All right, if your character is like so wide that the texture stretches out unbelievably, so their belly button goes like 3 feet wide, yeah, I'm not gonna like that personally. That would kind of break the game for me.
Yeah.
So for an MMO specifically, I think there needs to be some standards. There needs to be some limits on what you can do with your character.
So do you like the way? How does Final Fantasy doesn't have?
Final Fantasy does have sliders.
They do have sliders.
Yeah, and their sliders are great. Actually, I think that's a very good example you bring up, because their sliders are really funny. No, World of Warcraft is all just you choose your hairstyle, hair color. Your face is all one option. You don't have you don't choose like eyes or nose or mouth. You just choose face, which I honestly thought they would have changed that by now. For how much they mess around with character creation,
yeah,
I thought for sure they would make face, be multiple different things.
I think it's an engine issue.
It might be. It might just be it's like hard coded in.
Yeah,
that's just how it works in WoW. But yeah, Final Fantasy does do sliders where like my obviously I'm gonna play a Yordle. I play a Lalafell, which are just tiny people. Final Fantasy.
Yep.
My guy has long ears. All right, I put that slider, flicked it all the way to the right.
Oh, so you can literally fine
You
tune it
choose the length.
exactly.
Yeah,
Okay.
of I chose the length of his ears, and I said they're gonna be long, gonna be big.
Hmm.
Boy has big ears. So stuff like that I think is great because it's also not like the reason why I could put that slider all the way to the right is because it's not that unrealistic still.
But
Like he
not
still has
everything.
normal looking ears, they're just long.
But not everything's a slider.
Not I don't think everything's a slider. I haven't played Final Fantasy 14 in a hot minute, but I was like did not make a character until like 2019, I think was when I made my character. And you don't have ever need to go back and make a new character in Final Fantasy 14. Your
Mm,
one character does everything. But I don't remember there ever being any insane sliders. Like there's not like a slider for every single thing. Like you do still just have like certain options for stuff like hair, obviously, and for like eye shape and things like that. Those are just buttons that you're clicking through.
mm. So what do you? So you think the cup? Because you, I don't think not everything in Final Fantasy is the selection,
Yeah.
but everything in Blizzard and World of Warcraft is the selection. So you think that the combination is the best because you shouldn't have everything as a slider, but
Yeah.
some things should be a slider.
Yep, that's exactly how I feel actually. It's
Okay.
mostly just because it's an MMO and the fact that you're not the only one that's seeing your character now.
Yeah.
And this world for an MMO has to be immersive. I want to feel like I'm actually in Runeterra. When I'm in Demacia, I want to actually see some normal looking characters
Yeah.
that would fit in. I think that's very important. So I don't want to say anything too crazy with the sliders, but I do still want to see sliders because there still needs to be some variation between your characters. I think especially with Yordles, right? There's gonna be crazy variety with there better be crazy variety with Yordles,
Yeah.
We better not all look like Poppy, because not every Yordle looks like Poppy. In fact, most Yordles look like just some weird fox people that are completely deranged.
Yeah. There's Yordles have a wide like breadth
Very
of
wide.
very wide in terms of how they look.
Yeah.
And I hope that you can like you have Gnar in the Freljord who literally has tusks.
Yeah. Like
You know,
like that's just dude, Yordles make no sense to me and I love it.
so you would think that you can choose your tusk, but then you can scroll wheel to how big your tusks are.
Yeah, exactly. And the tusks should not be so big that they go past your head.
Yeah, there's a limit.
There's a limit,
Limit.
but you can definitely choose, and that slider should still be wide enough to make a difference.
Okay.
It shouldn't be like insignificant either.
Speaking
There's a
of,
sweet spot there. There's a golden what's it called? Goldilocks zone for that.
yeah, and speaking of Gnar,
Mhm.
there's one class that I just want to touch on really quick that I think would be very cool.
Oh, what?
Okay, so Gnar when he goes off, he just like he turns into this giant monster, right?
Yeah, he's a what's it called? He's that Warner Brothers movie, the Gremlin thing.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
huge.
yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. So I would love to see a Yordle tank class
Mhm.
that has something to do with like that.
Where
Where,
you turn into this little beast.
yeah, you
That
turn
would
into, like, this.
actually be sick.
Yeah, like you're tanking most of the time. You're just like this little guy, but then like you have like abilities that turn you into like
Yeah, you
this.
burst.
Yeah, you get like huge and you just start doing stuff. I don't know. That sounds like an awesome
Dude.
Yordle tanking class to me.
Oh my god, I would highly consider playing that.
Doesn't that be cool?
That'd be very cool.
Yeah,
And that's definitely a thing. I would love for character creation when you're making your race. If you're picking your race, you should have some like class specific, things that you could choose from. Like only Yordles can be that.
yeah,
Only Vestaya can be a certain class. Only humans can be a certain class.
yeah. That would definitely be a Yordle specific class only.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm totally cool with that personally. I don't like the idea of like everyone being everything because you inevitably run into some situations where it's like, yeah, this makes no sense.
But I also want even more like okay, so if you're a Yordle, I want to see a Yordle where like you're Tristana, she's a gunner, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's kind of like the hunter in almost
Yeah.
a sense for the Yordles. She's got
Yeah.
like this gun and stuff. But then if you're from Demacia,
Mhm.
I'd want to see a hunter with like a bow.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
because they have more of that aesthetic.
Yeah,
I
I
want to see
completely
like
agree.
that kind of variation almost where
Yeah.
even the hunter class is different wherever you are and not just wherever you are, the race that you are.
Yeah, I'm so with you on that. Also, I mean, yeah, I think like at some point, like your Vestaya is gonna like pick up a gun, like
Mhm.
like if they're a hunter, you're gonna run into an item that's an upgrade and
But
it's a
yeah.
gun. Like, I'm also on the fence on I feel like you should, because that'd be frustrating otherwise, you know?
Yeah, but like, yeah, I mean,
But I
later
mean,
on you
maybe
can
they
pick
could
up.
put some flavor in it, like in terms of like how your Vestaya holds the gun
Yep.
to make it a little more flavorful and be like, oh, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah. Or if you're like a Yordle gunner,
Yeah.
right, versus a Piltover gunner.
Mhm.
Both are using guns, but it's just different in the way that they use the guns.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
they have an ability that's different. Like if you're a Yordle gunner, like they pull out a huge gun on their back and they just shoot it. That's like twice their size. The
Yeah.
Piltover gunner, they'll like pull out two pistols or something. I don't know. I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
want it
no,
to be
I'm
different, but
so
the
with you on
same
that. Some
damage.
flavor.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, just some flavor, dude. That's so important. Seriously, it's crazy how much that even for people who don't think it matters and they don't realize it. At least
yeah,
I think so. That's just my opinion. I think everyone secretly cares. You know, everyone RPs a little bit deep down inside.
everyone does.
Yeah, you don't play MMO unless you're at least a 1% RPer.
Yeah, even if you're not RPing, you RP.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like in WoW, my goblin, if I make a goblin hunter, I don't want him holding a bow. All right,
yeah,
guy's
yeah.
gonna hold a gun. He's
Mhm.
gonna shoot the gun. My Yordle, if I make a Yordle hunter, dude's gonna hold a gun.
See, that like brings me that makes man my head's all over the place because now I'm like, okay, what about transmog? Like this guy wants to be a goblin hunter or whatever. In this case, a Yordle gunner. So
Hmm.
he wants to be using a gun, but then he gets a really good bow.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, I think in that case, you just have to bite the bullet, right? Ha ha ha. I didn't mean to do that, but
Oh yeah, that's true.
but like at that point, it's just like at some point the immersion reaches a point where it becomes like inconvenient. You know what I mean? And I'm wondering, where's that threshold where like where do you draw the line? You know, that's the main question of like I think in that case I would just be like, oh, screw, I'm just gonna pick up the bow for now, or even if it's like, oh, it's just like a small upgrade, I'm sticking with the gun.
Yeah, yeah.
But if it's like a big upgrade and I can't use it because I'm a Yordle and like nobody else in the group can use it because nobody else is a hunter
Mhm.
or something like that, or I guess it would be like loot specific, right? Where like the bow would just not drop at all if there's only one gunner in the what's it called? If there's only one hunter and it's a Yordle, the bow just won't drop in that case for loot.
I like that, but then also I like that where it's like, okay, you're a Yordle gunner, and so when it drops for you, it's a gun. Versus
Oh
when it
yeah.
drops someone else, it's a bow, but it's the same stats and the same.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking of that, but okay, yeah, yeah.
I like that, but then I was
But
also
then,
thinking about this.
mhm,
Okay, man, this kind of just jumped out at me.
what?
Okay, so we're always against transmog, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because the main reason we're against transmog is because it causes everyone to be able to just look amazing
yeah.
regardless of what they
It
accomplish.
completely devalues gear in my eyes. Like a whole facet of gear is the look of it, right?
Yeah.
You completely take away that part of gear in
Yeah.
terms of value, like actual value.
And you walk into a city, you want to know who's a beast and who isn't. Like
Yeah.
who's on freaking mythic rating
Yeah.
versus who's just hit
Yeah,
cap
who's like a
level.
fresh cap? Yeah, yeah.
And you
There
can't
should be a
tell.
difference. No, you can't tell when there's transmog. It's sad. Not until you inspect them, which at that point it just feels like, okay, I'm looking at your video game stats and not how
Yeah.
cool you are.
But what if we're thinking about it the wrong way? Like we're thinking about transmog
Mhm.
as your gear and transmogging your weapons.
Yeah.
What if that's allowed, but there's another way to signify easily visible? Like everyone can see it right away. It's obvious that you are doing this or you have done this in the current like season, and it's something that continues forward.
Like what? Like
It has to,
achievements?
it can't be player housing where it's just like, okay, now they have this item in their house that no one else has. It
Yeah,
has
I
to be something
agree.
like in that you could
I feel
see
like you
on
can
their
just see at a
character.
glance. Yeah,
Yeah, on their
you can
character.
just tell without without even knowing what like without even knowing much about the game. Like you don't even have to know. Oh, okay, this guy's a really good because he has so and so from this raid, this boss, this tier. No, you can just look at him and be like, damn, that guy looks cool. He must be really good at the game.
Yeah.
It should be that simple.
Yeah, like I don't. It doesn't have to be the full gear or the full weapon. It could just be like a necklace, maybe. Or I don't know,
I don't
something,
know,
something that
something.
shows that they are. Maybe you can transmog everything, but you can't transmog your weapon. Or no, but that's kind of
But
a
then,
key.
yeah, it's just going to completely like clash. What if you like glowing green weapon? You're stuck
If
with that glowing green weapon when you want to do like a red transmog.
yeah, I'm gonna think. We're gonna think about this all week, and I'm gonna come back next week. I'm gonna come up with a solution for this.
It's toxic. I understand, the argument for a transmog. Obviously, the number one thing for transmog is personalization,
Hmm.
right? It's making your character look the way you want them to look.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, I do want my Yordle to, look like he's from Bandle City.
yeah,
You know? I want my dude to be covered in some like really cool like green, like glowy magical naturey armor.
yeah.
I think that's sick. But at the end of the day, I care more about the value of just interacting with players and seeing their value just by looking at them.
Yeah.
That matters more to me personally. It's tough. It's a tough situation with transmog.
I feel like
There's
there
ups
will
and
be
downs to it.
transmog. That's the
I think there
thing.
will be too.
So I'm trying to find a solution that solves the problem with in a different way than what we've been trying the way we've been solving it, which is like no
Yeah, just
trans.
no we are pretty extreme.
Yeah.
I think every single take we have is usually pretty black and white on where we stand. You know, we talked about how much variety Yordles have, and we didn't even think about Vistaya, which probably have even more
No.
variety, which are like literally they might as well be completely different races on their own. But I would rather them just be one race and then you customize them how you want,
Yeah.
right?
But
Like,
I think it's gonna be for Vistaya, I think you're gonna have one race. It'll be like a rig. That's the Vistaya rig.
yes,
Then you
that
can
might have
choose like
changed
which
stuff.
branch of the Vistayan tree you're from. And
Yeah.
based on that branch, you're going to get locked into certain features. Like you can't have a lizard tail with a fox ears with a lion arm fur.
Yeah,
Like
that'll
you,
be a problem.
yeah,
People, I think everyone would do that just to really
look
stand
goofy.
out. Yeah, exactly. Just to look goofy. I think that'd be a very common thing to see. So
Yeah.
I hope that does not happen.
I think it's going to be like there's this tree which shows the Vistayan heritage tree, which is the Vistaya Shire. They merge with the humans, and you have all these branches. I
Mhm.
hope it's like you click the Vistaya, now select your branch that you're a
Yeah.
group of,
Hmm.
the one that's a decent population. You can't be like Ari since she's the last one of her kind.
Yeah, yeah. I
Um,
agree with that.
but yeah, you can pick one of these branches, and based on that branch, you're locked into certain feet, like certain character features, and
Mhm.
you can select from those. And you have the slide wheels and stuff, but those you'll be limited in that sense of like you're a part of this group.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'm into that. Final Fantasy 14 kind of does that. Not nearly as like crazy as a Vestaya should be, I think, but you do like pick like what tribe you're from essentially.
Yeah,
Or like what people you're part of within your race. And from that, they'll give you like different like skin color options and
yeah,
things like that.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. But I imagine Versailles should be even crazier. You know, like, hey, you're part of the lizard people. You got lizard options.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you're a lizard.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a lizard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. I don't know if Yordles need that level of
Not as
craziness with
much.
like they're like, yeah, because I think it's more so just like, hey, do you want like to be really crazy brown fur or do you want to be purple? You
Yeah.
know? Like that's those are your options.
Like if you look at Bandle City, they're different. Yordles definitely are different. They're more different than humans,
Yeah, for sure.
but they're not as different. They're not as varied as Vestaya.
No, Vestaya are especially like I was shocked when you told me that they are all one race.
Yeah, yeah,
Like they all fit under the name Vestaya. I'm like,
yeah.
are you sure? Like that's Vestaya?
Yep,
And that the lion's Vestaya?
yep,
Yeah, that's not even a person to that, but that dude's just a lion.
yep. He's Vestaya.
So I think yeah, Vestaya customization should definitely be the most intricate. I expect that one to be the one they spend the most time on, and I think everyone will make a Vestaya just for fun.
Yeah,
You know, that should be the goal of Vestaya character creation specifically, is that
I'm
everyone should want to at least try making a Vestaya for fun.
I'm really torn. Like
Mhm.
I want to be a Vestaya
Mhm.
pretty badly, but then at the
Okay.
same time, I want to be a shaman like Udyr in the
Uh,
Freljord. And
yeah.
there's no Vestayan. At least I've never seen a Vestayan shaman from the Freljord. Like they're all humans.
Mm. I was wondering there are more shaman other than just Udyr because I always thought it was just Udyr. Like this guy was just really in tune
Oh no,
with
there's a lot of them.
shamanism.
He's just like the
He's the shaman.
he's the king. He's the
Yeah.
greatest. But there's a whole tribes of them.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so that makes it a lot more like feasible
Mhm.
to have a character that's a shaman in the
Mm.
Freljord. That's so cool.
Yeah,
But yeah, so like yeah, in that case, yeah, I would expect you to be like, yeah, you gotta be a human in that case.
yeah.
So it
So
doesn't just like completely break it. Like, oh yeah, Vistai can be shamans now. They're here. I guess they're in the Freljord.
but see a Vestayan druid from Ionia.
Yeah, that could be pretty cool.
See, it's tough. It's
But also,
tough.
like, are there shamans in Ionia?
They're not the same.
Yeah.
They're,
Oh, they're not. But like,
no.
there are like just some like variation, I guess.
Mhm.
I mean, like, yeah, they are like really in tune with spirits, right? So you can still just do some like spiritual stuff in Ionia.
Yeah, but like Freljord is that like nature of like it looks like the lion and the lightning tiger, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels more tribal,
Yeah. Yeah, that's
which I
fair.
like.
I think with humans can look cool. We have to try a lot harder to make them look cool. You
Yeah.
know, like Udyr looks freaking sick.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
would make it
Udyr
like
looks
Udyr.
amazing.
My guy would
Yeah,
be
yeah,
big. Like
yeah,
he'd be-
exactly. But like you gotta get the right build. You gotta get the awesome tattoos.
You got to get the
Gotta be
belly.
shirtless. Yeah, and you gotta get the right Gotta say, you gotta get the right transmog.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Right, like that's a problem then.
My guy would never wear a shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's tough.
Like,
It's tough.
yeah. So Udyr looks freaking awesome. Humans can look awesome, but by default, they don't look nearly as cool as Yordles or Vastaya.
Yeah,
That's
and
the thing.
that's I really want to make a Vastaya. I
Yeah.
just don't know if I'll be able to. I don't think I'll be able to make a Freljordian Shaman Vastaya.
Yeah. Wait, what kind of Vastaya would you make?
If I made a Vastaya, it'd
Yeah.
probably be, man, that's tough.
I wouldn't know either. I'd have to like really look at all of them. I think naturally I lean towards like any kind of reptile.
Yeah, they're like that would be from Ishtal mostly.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's
It's
tough.
tough. I have to look at the options and then I decide like who looks the most
Shamany.
Yeah, the nature I guess.
Yeah, you got kind of like a humble looking Vastaya.
Mhm.
That's important. I agree.
Let's pull up the Vastayan tree.
All right, yeah. I want to see all of them. I want to make the decision right now. So when the MMO drops, I'm ready
Yeah.
to make my first alt, which will be a Vastaya.
Like, do I wouldn't want to make like so there's the hold on, that's the Vastaya. There's the tree. Hold on, let me find the tree. There we go.
Okay, cool.
Okay. This is the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's the Otrani, which I think maybe the otter lady from Runed. If you ever read Ruination, it's like an otter Vastaya. I wonder if that's them. But actually, no, it's from the Landwalking tribe. She's pretty the tribes of the sea. Like I'm not 100% sure who's who, right?
Yeah, there's so many different names here.
Like the Marai are definitely that's Nami and the Marai territory off the coast of Kargan, so they're like mermaid people.
Oh yeah, so you're probably not gonna play as them like we
No.
said before. Probably not.
No. There's Ari.
Yeah,
She's just like
there.
question
Her own
mark.
branch.
Yeah, because she's the last one. She's the only one of her kind. So
Yeah.
when this tree was made, they didn't even know anything about her, I'm sure.
That's crazy.
Yeah. There's the reptilian, the Strig,
Mhm.
Chira, Shimoon. I don't know. See, I'm not sure. Like I have to see how they look. If I
I agree. Look is everything, honestly. Like
would I want to be this half goat thing? I don't know.
I don't know.
This is more like
Tumnus.
Mr. Tumnus, yeah. See, but at the same time, like this guy might be pretty cool.
Yeah, the lizard people are cool. I really like the fact that they commit with the Vastaya, like as the Riot artists. I'm so glad they commit to making them straight up animal people.
Yeah, they're
It's not just like, oh, it's like a really handsome lizard guy.
yeah, no.
No, dude, that's a lizard. That's a freaking dragon right there.
It's more animal. A lot of
More animal than human. Yeah.
some of them are more human than animal, but a lot of them are more animal than human.
Yeah, I really hope that they go that far in the MMO. I really, really hope
Yeah.
so. Because I love it so much. Oh, gosh dang it. I want my dude to look like a stinking lizard on two legs.
Yeah, like there's this goat lady from Targon.
Yeah, or she looks more human.
Yeah.
She just kind of has horns and is purple.
Yeah, versus this person that's literally got deer legs.
Yeah.
But she has deer. She has goat legs too in the cinematic.
Oh, all right. Good to know. And there's a pig looking dude right there. That's interesting.
It's a big guy.
Yeah. That's going to be the least played for Staya. I'm going to be honest.
Yes, I'm not sure. I think I'd have to see character creation before I decide. Man, what if they didn't add Vastaya? What if they just had you could be a human? I'd be kind of
I didn't even
disappointed.
consider that.
But at the same time,
There's a non-zero chance of that happening, which is very scary to me.
like they could actually say like you can't be a Yordle, you can't be a Vastaya.
There's not even like a race selection.
Choose where you're from.
You
can customize your human.
I mean, they wouldn't be the first MMO to do that by far, actually, which is pretty sad. Oh my god,
no,
that would actually be such a huge disappointment for me because I've already anticipated so much that you can play as a Yordle. Like it feels guaranteed in my heart that you can play as a Yordle.
You're not the only one, and I think there's such a desire to play Yordles that they're going to include Yordles no matter what.
So too, because I think that would legit be like a Twitter breakout if that happens. Like in terms of Riot fans, there would be a massive like, why can't I play as a Yordle?
Yeah, and there's so many people who are like the fox people, like set. They want to be like a fox.
Yeah, there's gonna be cat girls. Yeah.
So that's why I think they'll add Vastaya too, just because there's demand out there for them. So I don't think we have to worry too much about it, but it's definitely not guaranteed that they won't do it. But I think I'm leaning more towards
just for the sake of I think everyone's kind of expecting it, right? Like
we can even go farther though. So we're talking about these races. We're saying that they're gonna hope they may just make it human.
Yeah.
All right, for sure. But I'm leaning more towards they're gonna include Vastaya.
I agree. I think it's more likely that we're gonna see Vastaya and Yordles.
You're gonna be a Yordle for sure. I feel that.
Yeah.
But there's other races that people don't really talk about that if you could be this race, I would heavily gravitate towards it, and that's Minotaur.
Yeah, honestly, I agree. I would at the very least make a Minotaur for
Yeah.
sure. One of my characters would be a Minotaur.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I hope. One thing I love about World of Warcraft races, when you're making your character, is that when you make a troll, right? You're not just a troll. Like not all of the trolls are part of the horde and therefore playable,
Yeah.
right? Especially before the most like one of the most recent expansions, you could only make a dark spear troll. You're a member of the dark spear tribe of
Yeah.
trolls,
Yeah.
right? If you're an orc, there are still plenty of orcs that are not on your side,
Yeah.
right? You're specifically part of the new horde that was created recently.
Yeah. I would like that.
Yeah, right. So I feel like it makes sense. There's gonna be other tribes of Minotaur, but you're part of a tribe of Minotaur within Noxus
Yeah.
that follow Noxus.
That'd be cool.
I like that a lot more. Yeah, rather than just being like you are a member of the entire race of every single Yordle is proudly a part of either Noxus or Demacia. No, it's probably not the case. But you are a specific Yordle who follows other Yordles being in Noxus or Demacia.
Yeah, I think if they ever did that tribe aspect, it'd be in Noxus, where you'd have be able to make a Minotaur from Noxus and a
Yeah,
part of that
I
tribe.
hope so. Once you showed me Minotaur, I was like, oh my God, please, dude. Please. God, we need some like big, really massive, bulky race.
Yeah,
All right.
I played a Tauren for
Mhm.
ever since I played World of Warcraft. I played Tauren,
Yeah.
and so that's honestly why I look at the Minotaur as a familiar model to me.
Yeah.
So like if it fits snug
Yeah,
on my
fair.
monitor, despite the size, it would just feel right.
Oh on, dude. Yeah, if you could, I mean, they clearly seem like, just by looking at pictures of them, they seem like they're like intelligent enough
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
like shaman and stuff like that.
yeah,
And to like follow, obviously like follow Noxus and things like that. Oh my God. Please, dude.
man.
I would love it so much. And they have some like variation to them, or yeah, they can be multiple classes and everything. Like they're set up. Riot has them set up. They're sitting pretty, just waiting to be playable.
Okay, I think that's the out of the three races that we picked. We
Mhm.
said humans, Vistaya, Yordles. I feel like Minotaur is the next most likely candidate to be included. If you made a fourth
Yeah.
race, it would be Minotaur.
Yeah, I agree. But also sadly, my like logical, cynical brain thinks, oh, these guys are gonna be like the Centaur in World of Warcraft, where the Centaur
Yeah,
are also a people where they have multiple different tribes, very dynamic, very interesting race, but they're mostly just delegated to characters that you kill early on, right?
yeah,
There's a tribe not far from the capital city of the Horde, right? And you just go fight that tribe because they're
yeah.
causing problems.
They're
You
actually
kill them.
in the new one, Dragonflight now.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, yeah, they have like a whole area.
Oh, that's cool.
And the
Yeah, see, like Centaur are very interesting and they have like their own characters and plot and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, they're just kind of delegated to like, oh, this is a race that you can fight sometimes.
yeah,
And I'm worried. My most logical brain says that's what the Minotaur are going to be. Is that they're going to be like somewhere outside of like Noxus and you just fight them. They're
it's
just there. They cause problems.
yeah.
I hope that's not the case so badly, but it seems so likely, but it'd be such a waste.
I feel like there's a lot of Minotaur in Noxus. Like I'm looking at the Legends of Runeterra cards. Like these are
Yeah,
there's a ton of them, and they're all. I mean, they're all from Noxus. It looks like so. I really
yeah.
think that if they did do it, they could easily make like a tribe of Minotaur from Noxus that are playable.
Oh, God, I hope so. I mean, one common thing with most MMOs, where if you have multiple playable races, you're going to see more playable races in the future.
Yeah,
So I could see Minotaur being that.
coming in later.
Yeah, as like an expansion, new race, Minotaur. I could see that happening. Man, but I just really hope they're playable right off the bat. I hope you can just make a Minotaur because they deserve it. Just look at their designs are too good. I'm sorry, the Riot artists did too well, did too good of a job, and they made them cool.
Yep. So we're at right now. We say humans, Vistaya, Yordles, possible Minotaur,
Mm-hmm.
and we want for character creation. There's mostly pre-selection, but there's also a couple things that are like the wheel or like
Yeah, that's gliders.
a slider. There's actually one more race that I do not think will be included, and this was like a sub. Like I have seen images where they're smaller, but you
Yeah,
have trolls up in the
trolls.
Freljordian trolls like Trundle. But these guys are huge. Like there's a
Yeah.
cinematic where Rise literally faces one. These guys are massive. Like it'd be like being able to play an ogre.
Yeah, like the
Like,
size of like
yeah,
Cho'Gall, who's huge.
yeah, they're almost way too big to be playable.
Yeah,
Unless you had
that's
like a
rough.
smaller tribe somewhere.
Mhm.
which could be possible. I haven't
I wouldn't
seen.
be against it. Yeah, if they like changed it up and just be like, oh yeah, there can be like human-sized trolls. There's like this tribe deep in the Freljord.
Yeah.
Like, I could see that happening. Honestly, I'd be cool with that because it's still not like change. It's not changing anything. It's just adding more to trolls.
Hmm.
Saying here's a tribe of trolls we have not met yet.
Yeah.
I'd be cool with that, honestly.
Like you still have the big guys out there, but then there's also like the smaller ones that are playable.
Yeah, and I would definitely that'd be my second character. Honestly, aside from my Yordle main, my second character would be a troll. They look so cool,
Yeah.
dude. They got the cool hairstyles. Like, no way we would not have like the best beard options and hair options for trolls, right? With all like the white hair and the orange hair. Oh man, dude, the big tusks. Heck yeah,
Slider for the tusks.
slider for the tusks. That's the truth of it. Oh man,
You know,
dude,
surprisingly
please.
though, as much as they're saying that they want to, there's no orcs, there's no elves because they want to stay away from traditional. I feel like trolls are pretty traditional,
Trolls are
and
definitely, yeah.
Minotaur too are pretty traditional, like high fantasy.
I mean, yeah,
Minotaur are
trolls
pretty
go all the way
common.
back to the Hobbit, right?
Hmm.
Trolls are some like basic Tolkien lore.
Yeah,
So like that's about as traditional fantasy as it gets. So, yeah, and same with Minotaur. My Minotaur are more like mythology, but also yeah, that's what Tolkien came from in the first place, right? Mythology is also pretty traditional fantasy. Is where
yeah.
this stuff comes from in the first place.
Isn't Greek mythology? Greek
I think
mythology is
so.
Minotaur.
I'm honestly not sure. For I don't want to get that wrong, but
Yeah,
I would guess Greek or Nordic. I have no clue. But yeah, trolls, Minotaur, both pretty like you'd expect to find them in your average fantasy world for sure.
yeah.
So I hope they're not looking at them and being like, oh no, not in our game. But gosh, I also just think I think the reason why we both love Minotaur and trolls so much is just because they lean more towards that gruff tribal side. And we
That's
don't
why.
have that with the main three races. The main
Yeah,
three races are very civilized.
that's why I
Right.
like Udyr. I feel like he's so
Yeah.
tribal.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
We love our big gruffy dudes that just, are like part of the world, living
yeah,
off the land.
yeah, yeah,
Like, oh, dude, I love that. Which is why we need some big dudes that can just, be all muscle and mess stuff up with their massive weapons.
yeah. I've never been drawn to like magic too
Me
much.
too. I've
Like
always been like
I
warrior, martial weapons. Yeah.
yeah, and I like the magic when it's more elemental or like
Yeah,
nature or something, and not
me
like
too.
arcane.
Yeah, no, yeah, I want to shoot some like the balls of like earth, I want to like use water to heal people.
Yeah,
Shamanism is so cool to me. Yeah, because shamanism is just the right kind of magic. It's like some kind of like physical magic,
yeah.
which I like.
You're using
It's
the
not
elements.
sparkly.
Yeah, you're not creating like you're using the elements around you to do stuff.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's a
Or
massive difference.
well,
I think shamans are a pretty solid chance of getting in just for that reason. It's a kind of flavor that you're not going to get from any other class or from any other like facet of power in Runeterra, right?
yeah,
Shamans are very on their own, very unique. So I think it's super likely we'll get shamans as a class at least. That's just me. But dude, we need some more gruff in terms of playable races. That's why I'm hoping for Minotaur or Trolls. I think Minotaur are a lot more likely because I think trolls will end up just being, some big dudes that you fight in the Freljord.
yeah. And I honestly don't think Freljord will be included at launch just because there's so
Yeah.
much there. If they don't include the whole map, like they may
Yeah, they might
include.
just do like a small part of it. Just be like, here's a snowy area.
Yeah, like this is part of the Freljord. I definitely think that's possible. But
Hmm.
if they actually exclude zones, I feel like Freljord would be one of the zones that they exclude for an expansion.
Hmm.
And then so you won't really see trolls because I've never seen them anywhere else other than Freljord.
Yeah, I can see
So
that.
more
I mean, hey,
reason not.
Warcraft 3, right? Northrend was a pretty important part of Warcraft 3. You
Yeah.
literally go to Northrend, it's brought up by name by
Um,
Thacondrius. We don't see
you
it.
literally go there.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
see it till the second expansion, not even the first expansion. Not until
yeah.
the second expansion of World of Warcraft do we go to a very important location in the original RTS. I
First,
mean, Freljord, I think, is also just a very important location that's brought up so many times that I hope it doesn't come off as disappointing to people if they don't see the Freljord right away. But I think it's worth it to save it for an expansion because then there's going to be so much more there. They're going to do it justice if it's an expansion.
yeah.
But
I would actually like to see it. I would like to see them do less at
yeah,
launch than
me
do more.
too. To give them the time to really flesh out all these locations each on their own individually
Yeah.
rather than just giving us like half big version of all these places just to get them all in at launch.
Like for example, let's say that time is finite and you cannot do everything, and if you commit time to something, you'll lose time for something else. If you had to do Noxus and Freljord, I'd rather see Noxus double the size.
Me too. Seriously, yeah,
That's
because then
my
at least they're doing Noxus justice, and
yeah.
Freljord gets saved to be done justice another day.
Then the world will be bigger when the time comes. Like when the world is complete, when you have that, like they said, we have this end goal, how we want to see Runeterra,
Yeah.
and now it's just the steps to get there along the way.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather see more steps. Say the world is more fleshed out, rather than trying to like hop skip as much as we can and then making everything a little bit smaller.
Yeah, I completely agree. Runeterra is way too cool of a world. They've already spent years fleshing this thing out in terms of storytelling and world building to where every single zone at this point can be done with its own entire dev team dedicated to just putting some TLC into that entire zone.
Mm-hmm.
You know? There's so much here, dude. And making Freljord an expansion means trolls might be a playable race after all.
True, that'd be pretty cool. No, that'd be cool.
Yeah, if like when the Freljord drops, we get trolls like as a tribe somewhere out there. Oh, I would love that. Please. Dude, please just give me more gruffy races. That's what I want more than anything.
Noxus is very. I think you
I mean, yeah,
can.
Noxus is very gruffy in general, right? Noxus, like literally, like the main when you think of Noxus, the first dude you think of has spiky shoulder pads,
And great.
and he's massive. I don't even know if he's considered a human for how big that guy is. Makes
There he
no
is, man.
sense. Yeah.
And great.
So yeah, Noxus luckily has its own gruff to where if you're from Noxus, yeah, you're already like, pretty used to just living in a world of the turmoil and killing.
Yeah. I I do think there's 100. We're guaranteed we're gonna get Noxus and Demacia. That's why I feel like Minotaur are a little bit more likely because
Mhm.
you can't include Noxus or Demacia cannot be an expansion without both of them being an expansion for the same because they're so interweaved into each other and their stories. A lot of them are based on each other.
Mhm.
So it's like I feel like if you include one and not the other, it would be not as great. So you have
Yeah.
to include both. I'd say the least you'd get is Noxus Demacia, Piltover, and a little bit of Zon. That's the least you'll get at the launch.
Yeah.
With a little bit more, you can include Shurima and Bilgewater.
Yeah.
That's like the maximum that I think you can get with, and then everything else being an expansion.
Yeah, that's what I hope is the case. And in that case, like, I don't know how likely it is that they'll skip over Ishtal like that if you're going to like from Piltover to.
Oh, but
But like, you're also like obviously like you said, there are like ship paths from like Noxus to
yeah,
Shadima and stuff like
Noxus literally
that.
controls this whole top of Shurima. It's like literally Noxus owned, and there's
Yeah.
Piltover, and when you're crossing through Piltover, you don't actually go in through Ishtal. This is like a whole jungle that no one ever goes into. Piltover constantly sends machines in there and they get destroyed.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I
so it's
like
like a
that.
hidden jungle that no one can enter. But yeah,
Oh,
plenty
it's
of
already
people.
like set up that like yeah we can't go there right away. I
Yeah,
like that.
it's in the lore canon. No one goes to Ishtal. It's a place hidden in the jungle. Noxus sends people there to die.
Wow, that's like basically was it Demacia sends people to like Targon, right? If like
Yeah,
they screw up, like yeah, go die, dude. Climb up the top of the mountain. You can do it.
yeah, yeah. Demacia sends people to Targon to say climb the top of the mountain. Noxus has wanted Ishtal for a long time.
Really?
Yeah,
That can make for some interesting stuff. Dude, I love how Noxus is so like, yeah, that's right. We dominate. Like, we're gonna take you over if we're strong enough. And
yeah.
I would love to be a part of that just because it's like, yeah, we're going to Ishtal for this expansion, but not for good reasons. We are the problem. We're not going there to fix their problem.
That would be interesting.
We're the problem.
Yeah, that would be very.
And somehow, obviously Demacia would get roped into that too because they would not want Noxus taking up that much land, that much power for themselves.
Yeah.
So
No,
I could see that being really cool.
Demacia, it's like exile. You're exiled. No one actually goes to climb Mount Targon,
Yeah.
but that's your sentence, like to go climb Mount Targon. But then they just
Yeah,
basically
they should
get
just leave.
exiled. Like no one actually goes and does it.
Yeah,
Unless you're Tarek, who's just a beast.
yeah, dude.
But Noxus, so what Noxus does is, let's say that you're a person climbing the ranks in Noxus and you're becoming more self-centered, like you're more about yourself
Mm-hmm.
than Noxus. And
Yeah, you are Noxy.
yeah, if you start thinking of yourself like prideful, saying like I did this and I did that and I
Mhm.
should be get rewarded more,
Mhm.
Noxus does not take that crap lightly. Like you are
Yeah.
either for Noxus 100% giving yourself fully for the empire, or
Mhm.
they don't want you. It's that much. And so if you're a person trying to climb the ranks and like saying, I'm this person who's done great things, they'll tell you, okay, go conquer Ishtar.
Yeah.
And they're so prideful usually that they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm going to conquer Ishtar. It's never been conquered before. Then you get there and Ishtar will literally eat you alive. And that's
Oh
why
my
they
god.
almost send them there just like as like maybe a workout, probably not, but most likely you're just gonna go there and die. But we want Ishtar to know like we're still looking at them and we're coming for you.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, yeah, we still see you. We'll send
Yeah.
people there to die, but just know we're thinking of you.
Yeah.
You know that what's it called? Drake and Josh, that one meme. Oh really? So go conquer Ishtar.
Yeah.
Okay, I will.
Yeah. That's
No
literally
problem.
that's literally it. Yeah, I have a short story video on it. Like one of the first short stories that I ever did is a short story about a woman in Noxus who starts getting prideful,
Mhm.
and they send her on a mission to go conquer Ishtar. And she goes there, and then she realizes that they sent her there to die. And
Oh,
she shows up on like the shores, and I think Piltover or somewhere or Bilgewater.
mhm.
I'm not gonna spoil it. Just if you want to read that short story, I have a video on it, but it's very good. But
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
that's how
thank you
you
for
learn. Like
correcting.
Noxus just sends people to Ishtar to die.
Oh wow. Okay, so yeah, if chances are we're not getting Ishtal to start.
No, that'd be
We're not
weird.
gonna reach Ishtal to start.
Yeah, that'd be
You will
weird.
go die. Yeah. I hope they make it like that too. I hope you can actually go into the jungle and just die.
No, I'd like to see natural, organic ways of making the map where you can't explore.
Yeah.
Zon should not be not included, but if you journey too deep into Zon, you start like getting into the sludge of Zon and the smoke and the fog, and it's
Yeah.
poisonous. Or Warwick literally finds you and kills you if you go too deep.
Yeah, cause like you're not part of Zon. You don't know your way through Zon.
Yeah,
You would not last 10 seconds in Zon because you were not raised in it. You
yeah.
don't know jack about it.
The Freljord is too cold. You die of the cold. You go into the
Yeah.
north, like it's just too cold and you die.
Yeah, give us
Ionia,
creative ways of dying. Yeah.
yeah, creative ways to die. Like Ionia can easily be blocked off by the ocean. Same with
Yeah.
Bilgewater. I'd like to see that used as a hub almost. The Shadow
Yeah.
Isles.
Yeah. So I was like, you're not going
Yeah,
to Shadow.
yeah. Ishtal's the jungle. You'll get eaten alive.
Yeah.
Acathia. No.
We can think of a lot of ways to
Yeah.
die in Acathia.
Targon could easily be separated off by a mountain range.
Yeah. Oh yeah, easily. Targon already is straight up like blocked off in terms of mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, yeah, Bilgewater, as long as there's much you can really do there, right? Because like it's definitely not like expansion worthy, and I don't think they should just drop it in a patch and be like, oh yeah, unless it's like like vanilla, vanilla Runeterra MMO,
Yeah.
like before the first expansion for like a big patch, they drop Bilgewater. I'd be cool with that because I think there is some stuff you can do with Bilgewater in terms of
The
like void
Buhru.
stuff.
The Buhru. I want to
Yeah.
see. I don't want to see anything of the Buhru in Bilgewater.
Hmm.
Bilgewater should be included, but you're only in Bilgewater. The Buhru on the other side of Bilgewater should be secluded, and no one accesses the Buhru area, by the way. Anyway,
Oh
like
really?
it's locked off. They don't allow outsiders
Oh,
over
that's
there.
cool.
They only allow outsiders on the area where Bilgewater, like the city, is. That's where the outsiders are.
Oh man,
But the
that's
Buhru have
cool.
been there forever, so I'd love to see like the Buhru power weakening or something, and we start having more sea monster attacks in Bilgewater, and that leads to the Buhru expansion. That like
Ooh.
just because it's included doesn't mean we're not gonna get an expansion for it. Like Demacia. Okay, you have Demacia, but then I'd love to see where we have a Demacia expansion where we explore the Sentinels of Light off the coast of Demacia more, and that's a whole expansion in and of itself.
Yeah, and yeah, throughout that expansion, you build up more
Yeah.
on Demacia, and Demacia progresses more like in terms of characters and the world. Maybe like how they treat mages changes and that kind of stuff. Yeah, like the entire city progresses along with the expansion.
Yeah.
I think that could be insanely cool.
Like just
Oh,
because you have the Freljord doesn't mean you're not going to have an expansion in the Freljord. Even after, if you have a Freljord in expansion, I don't think you can do it justice in one expansion. Maybe you do like one expansion of the Freljord and then another expansion where you're going to do the Watchers.
yeah, I was thinking, yeah,
Two,
like a void expansion will be Freljord and like Acathia, right? And maybe even some like
that would be awesome. The whole world, like
yeah,
across the
right.
whole planet.
Dude, that's what I hope for. That's what I hope the expansions are in terms of the map. Is that it's a progression of the entire world. The expansion takes place in Runeterra, not just one zone.
Yeah,
One zone may be the focus, but the entire expansion should not be in that zone. Is what
yeah.
I'm saying. It shouldn't be the only thing of that expansion.
Hmm.
That's a problem. That's a big problem I have with a lot of MMOs.
Yeah, and then and then obviously we do have areas that we can't even see on the map currently. There's that whole area north of Freljord, the true north. Where
Oh
if you ever
yeah.
watched Game of Thrones, you know, there's like the north, but then there's the true north past over the wall. I
Yeah.
almost feel like that's what that is, and that's unexplored. Then you
Yeah.
have Camivore, like we don't even see that on the map right now.
Mhm.
There's a whole the map can't even be the complete globe.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of places that we didn't explore, but there's still so much to explore here. I almost feel like why rush it?
Yeah. Seriously, yeah, let's take our sweet time and let's enjoy all of what Runeterra has to offer in terms of even just this map.
Yeah, I don't want to rush through this map. I don't want to just be like, okay, this is the Runeterra expansion. Here's the whole map, and then
Yeah.
we're
Okay, now we're
leaving.
moving on.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, we did it.
that's one of the main problems with World of Warcraft is like you made Azeroth, which is easily the biggest, and like you have Kalimdor and the Eastern Kingdoms. Like those are the
Those
biggest.
two
Like,
alone, yeah,
and
are
we never went
explored.
back to them, and they've never
Yeah.
had expansions based on them, except for okay, you had Cataclysm.
Yeah, but even then that was not like endgame,
Yeah,
right?
no,
That's just a leveling revamp, which honestly was not the direction they should go for revamping the old world. Because like I said last time, the problem with that is that the revamp was not because Kalimdor and Easter Kings are progressing as like just part of the world. They're
Mhm.
not growing at all.
Yeah,
And, like they're not moving forward with time. It was just a big dragon hit everything. So now everything's on fire.
yeah. Like when you do the
I
yeah.
want Demacia and Noxus to keep moving.
Exactly. Like when you do the Buhru expansion, the bilge water should change a little bit. Like it
Yeah,
should
dude.
adapt to like this new expansion. There should be differences in how the world in bilge water is, right? And
Mm-mm.
that could lead into the Serpentine Delta, which is off the coast of Ishtal. That should change as well.
Yeah,
You know,
dude.
that's like literally a port area. That's the only port area in Ishtal. Like you'll get there, you'll never get inland.
Uh,
Yeah.
you're stuck on this delta.
Yeah, you could literally find people in the Serpentine Delta like they've I don't want to give too much away of the short story, but anyways, they find a person that they meet in the Serpentine Delta to take them inland. It's tough to
uh,
find someone, and
yeah,
eventually
someone
they
willing.
yeah eventually they do, and he like leaves them partial of the way through because things are getting too dangerous, and he's
Uh,
like, no, we need to turn back now, and
mm,
they literally feel like the jungle is swallowing them.
that's terrifying.
Yeah, but the Serpentine Delta, you'll get there. So I just
Hmm.
want to see the world change
Hmm.
based on the expansion. So when you have the Buhru expansion, Bilgewater and all these places should change with it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Dude, man, we pivoted so hard off of races, but it's so easy to talk about the map of Runeterra and these zones.
Hmm. Hmm.
God, they're so cool, and there's so many ways they can go about it. Is the thing.
Yeah,
They could go the complete opposite of what we said. For all we know, we are starting off in Shurima, Ishtal, and Ionia.
yeah,
That
yeah. You could. I mean, a Noxus slash Demacia expansion would be pretty good.
would actually be insane. An entire expansion dedicated to just like the war between Noxus and Demacia. We learn about both of them,
That'd be awesome,
and you pick a side. God,
man.
please.
I want
Dude,
to.
there's so many ways to go about it.
I can't wait to just have like a little inkling of news, just a
Oh,
taste of like anything. When do you,
yeah.
when do you think we're gonna get that first taste of something? Like that first little
Oh,
we're gonna have this meeting, like we're join us on this day, we're gonna talk about the Riot MMO. We're gonna reveal a little bit of the story. We're gonna
yeah.
talk a little bit about how the game's gonna work and
Yeah,
all this stuff.
like something as small as like you know, like one of the devs standing up with a like slideshow presentation behind them
Yeah.
with some like cool character art for the MMO, being like, yeah, this is what the classes are gonna be, it's what they're gonna do.
Oh man. When do you think we're gonna get that first piece? Not the expand, not the game, but like that first piece of information.
Yeah, dude, I mean, they've been on this for how long now? This MMO, I mean, like pretty reasonably long for MMO, right? MMO's always going to take like 4 or 6 years to make
Yeah.
it, right? With a fully dedicated team. But it's been long enough now to where I think by the end of 2024, guaranteed is my guess.
Yeah.
I'm feeling very confident in that. By the end of 2024, we
Next
will
year.
know.
Next
Yeah,
year we're
yeah,
gonna get something.
yeah. That's what I'm thinking for sure. Right? Like, no way we go through all of 2024 into 2025 without knowing anything about the MMO.
Yeah.
And that's like me thinking, yeah, like, we're gonna like see some like talk on like their YouTube channel about the classes and
They'll
stuff.
actually make the YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Runeterra.
yeah, or even just like drop it on like League of Legends or something. Or like Riot Games, you know.
Yeah.
That's my guess. But then in terms of like an actual trailer drop, I would not expect that 2024 personally. I would expect that more 2025. is when they officially like out to the public at like Game Awards. You know, we see a Riot MMO game like title drop and really big cinematic trailer that probably cost them way too much money.
Did you think about how much they put into music videos?
I know we were just
Yeah.
talking about that for what the Runeterra card game for
Yeah.
Legends of
Team
Runeterra.
Fight Tactics, actually.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
one.
yeah. Team Fight
But they
Tactics.
do, they, even the Legends of Runeterra cinematics are crazy.
Yeah, dude. So I'm like, I'm just waiting. 2025 is definitely like most likely when that's going to happen. I'm ready for that cinematic because that's probably going to be insane budget.
Man.
That's going to be like top tier.
So what's your exact timeline? So you're saying the first pieces of news and updates are going to come in 2024.
Yeah, I'm thinking like multiple, like you know, like maybe like 3 different updates of
Okay.
just like dev, you know, talking, maybe even showing like some like screenshots of like a starting zone
Hmm.
and like,
Okay.
oh, like here's Noxus, you know, here's what you can expect in Noxus, or here's what you can expect in Demacia, and then going through some classes and playable races.
Okay.
That's what I would expect
Okay.
throughout
I
2024.
love that. That's like 20 episodes for us, judging
Oh,
by how long we
easily.
talk about nothing.
They can literally not release the MMO at that point. We have everything we need. We can keep this going forever after
Yeah,
that.
we're good. Okay, but
And
then
then
then go, keep going, keep going. I want to hear the whole timeline.
okay, so I'd say yeah, like by the end of 2024, I would expect yeah, like we have some screenshots
Okay.
of character models and zones, like starter zones, and then some like basic information on what the game might play like. And then 2025, some big gaming event is when we see our first trailer. And
Okay.
it's just gonna be purely cinematic, no gameplay. You know, I mean, like, just like any MMO. I don't think
Yeah,
MMOs
yeah,
ever do.
yeah.
MMOs never do gameplay trailers, huh?
No. No, that, wow.
World of Warcraft used to like vanilla WoW. They had gameplay trailers of like here's the new dungeon. They show off the like the bosses and fighting game.
Yeah.
But nobody does that anymore.
No.
There's no gameplay trailers for MMOs. That's so weird. I never realized that. But yeah, you're going to see a cinematic, purely cinematic trailer, maybe a release date, maybe
In 2025.
2025. I mean, what I the thing is, I have no idea when like this game's going to drop. It could be 2026, 2027. Like
I
hard
think
to tell
I
because we still have no information. Like we still don't know where they're at in terms of development.
Yeah, but I feel like you're right. 2024, we're gonna get that first piece of news,
Mm-hmm.
like a couple pieces of information, how the game's gonna work. Hopefully, they'll say Holy Trinity, no transmog, no flying. What else was there?
What?
Something else big that I want. No flying, no transmog. Um, man, there was another piece that I wanted to say.
What? Well, like looking for group.
Yeah, yeah, no looking for group, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I think looking for group tool in WoW is solid. It's looking for dungeon and looking for raid that's the problem,
Yeah.
right?
So that's 2024. The first pieces of news, the first little updates. 2025, we'll get that cinematic trailer, more
Mhm.
news coming out,
Yeah.
maybe an alpha at the end of 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Then 2026, I think we'll get the beta at the beginning of the year with the release date, either probably towards the end of 2026.
Wow. Okay. Yeah,
That's what
I can
sounds
see
good to
that.
me.
I could definitely see that because yeah,
That's
this is
3 more
mostly based
years.
on the fact that we know nothing about where they're at.
Mhm.
Is the big thing. So like the fact they haven't shown anything yet means we're still like
Yeah.
some ways off before we get our first trailer.
Actually, I've been doing YouTube for a year now. So it would be probably like close to just over 4 years.
That's crazy.
When the that is crazy. Damn. So I've been doing Runeterra lore videos and Runeterra content for 4 years before the game even launches.
Dude, that's awesome. You're already, I checked the other day, you're like 600 videos in already.
Yeah, a
1
lot
year
of them are
in.
shorts. There's a lot of shorts in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's how YouTube counts them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey. Maybe we take off you know, 100 of those videos. That's still like, dude, you're 500 videos in? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, dude.
I like the most recent one about the like Runeterra lore for beginners. If you don't really know what we're talking about, I mean, I definitely recommend that just as one video to watch to understand Runeterra lore in general and just get an overview of the lore itself of the game.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's right.
Speaking of lore, we know that towards the end of this month, we're going to get some update on the canon timeline. And one game that they did say was canon was the game that I promised we'd talk about. And with 3 minutes left, we're going to do it. Song of Miracle.
Are we really? Oh my god, dude. Time flies when you talk about Runeterra.
It's time to
Gosh,
talk
dang
about
it.
Song of Nunu. Okay.
Yes, yes.
I played through Song of Nunu. I'm on my second playthrough. It's an amazing game. I loved every minute of it. There's a ton of lore in there, especially when it comes to the like you get to meet a lot of big characters like Ornn. Get to meet Volibear. these are spoilers, by the way. I should have said spoilers, but I mean, obviously, we're talking about Song of Nunu, so I said that at the beginning.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of lore in there. Like you learn about the history of the Yetis. You learn about
Mhm.
a lot of the War of the Three Sisters and Lysandra, and it talks to you about how the Yetis got their power and where that power is. Nunu is extremely important. Like if you haven't played this game, Nunu is extremely important. I'm not gonna say why, but he's so major for the world of Runeterra, way more than we could have ever imagined. And I hope that in the Riot MMO, we see Nunu grow up, like almost how you see Anduin grow up
Yeah.
in World of Warcraft. I
Mhm.
want to see Nunu do the same thing. And because Willump is kind of magical, I want to see him kind of adapt and grow with Nunu in the same way.
Yeah,
Like
the way
right
that
now,
Nunu sees him. Yeah,
yeah,
because I imagine, yeah, the way Nunu's no, the way Nunu perceives Willump should change as he gets older,
yeah.
right?
Like Nunu and Willem should go from like this kid and his Yeti who's like a fluffy teddy bear to freaking warriors when they
Yeah.
get older. I want to see that.
Dude, yeah. Please make Nunu just an absolute just badass weapon.
Yeah, I want to see him grow into like a badass. That's what I want to see. Like
I
he's a
would
kid
love
now.
that
Yeah,
because then it's like, yeah, look at my boy.
yeah. If you have not played Song of Nunu, I recommend it. And I'm telling you, you're going to see that Nunu is not just like some random character. I always thought it was just some random character, cute story in the Freljord. Yeah, the last of the Yetis, it's nice. But after playing Song of Nunu, he may be one of the most important characters in Runeterra.
Wow. I
Yeah,
mean, Willem already kind of naturally is one of the most important characters, right? In terms of it's the magic of the Yetis that's keeping the Watchers,
yep,
in at bay and stopping them from destroying this entire planet and all of existence.
yeah.
So Yetis are pretty important, and Willem's the last one.
Mm-hmm.
That's already insanely important. Yeah,
Yep.
now Nunu is up there too. So it's like, oh boy. Yeah, this is definitely getting interesting. I'm surprised how much they delved into. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised because the Freljord's always gonna have crazy stuff like the War of Three Sisters
Yeah.
and everything like that. But I'm surprised how much they delved into it in Song of Nunu. Because
Mhm.
honestly, I expected it more just to be about the relationship between like Nunu and Willump in general, and that would be it for the most part. But no, they went hard.
They even introduced
They're
new
expanding the
creatures.
lore, dude.
Yeah, there's new creatures in there that no one ever knew about before. It has to
Wait,
do with
really?
true ice. Yeah, there's like these creatures that no one ever knew about that like somehow they're freaking alive, but they're made of true ice. It's
Oh, I
insane.
didn't even know that. I didn't even
They're
know those were
huge.
new. That's crazy. Oh my god,
And
dude. And like I'm sure like, this being like a what's it like a third party title being Tequila Works. I'm sure Riot, like Riot writers straight up sent them like, okay, these are some major plot points you're gonna hit because we're gonna set some stuff up this game.
yeah,
All
they
right.
do. Oh, it sets stuff up. Like
Yeah.
you should play Song of Nunu before the MMO
Yeah, it's gonna be
just
important for
because of
sure.
how important it is of a game for the MMO. Convergence is built in a separate timeline.
Hmm.
Mage Seeker, very important. If you want to know anything about Demacia, like you'll learn about Demacia a lot in Mage Seeker, and that's a canon. They
Hmm.
haven't announced it yet that it's canon, but I'm very confident that Mage Seeker is going to be canon.
Yeah.
Rune King, I'm
Rune
pretty
King's
confident
like,
that's going to be canon.
yeah, that should be just for how much happens in that. It should be canon.
Yeah, if Rune King isn't canon, there's a lot of stuff that isn't going to be canon.
Yeah, they would have to rewrite a lot of things
Yeah,
basically.
like a lot of stuff would just be out the window.
Yeah.
So I think Rune King is going to be canon. And then we have
Mhm.
that new one. I don't know how much lore is going to be in that, but we'll see.
Yeah, Bandle Tales. Yeah,
Vandal
that
Tales.
one I expect that one to be pretty chill.
Mhm.
I expect it to be pretty much just like you're a Yordle helping out fellow Yordles in Vandal City. That's what I'm expecting out of that. And it's just gonna be like cute little characters to talk to and stuff.
Well, you know me, I'm a Stardew. I love Stardew Valley. I
Yeah.
played a ton of that game on both
Mhm.
my Switch and PC. And so
Yeah.
I get that kind of vibe from it. And so I'm going to be all for Vandal Tales.
Yeah, it's definitely that kind of game just by looking at it. But dude, yeah, Song of Nunu, that's shocking how much they set things up. They're going all in on the story. The
Yeah.
MMO's coming and they know it.
Then
They're ready for it.
yep. Well, definitely. Well, I'll keep an eye. I got to get the exact day on when they're going to have that talk. I'm pretty sure it's at the end of this month. They said the end of November, they're going to talk
Oh, that's
about
coming up.
like the lore in general and what they meant by the single, what's canon and what's not. I
Mhm.
don't think any of the major story is going to change, like the
Yeah, I wouldn't
major
expect it
event. They're
to.
not going to change the Watchers. They're not going to change Diego. They're not going to change the story of the Mage Seekers and Like Demacia is not all of a sudden going to be like mage friendly past, and Silas is just like the king. Like
Yeah, no,
nothing
I
like
don't think they're gonna change any like Anything that you probably already know on surface level is probably not going to change.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, everything's gone. I'm like, I think it's gonna be like the minor stories, like some small stories that characters that just don't really fit anything. Those ones
Yeah.
are gonna change.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's gonna be some stuff where it's like, oh yeah, this one like, obscure character that did this one thing in like Zon.
Yeah, that didn't add up. Okay, we'll just scratch that. This is different lore for them now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm expecting. Very small minor stuff.
You know what? I'm excited for the Riot Fighter. I need to see when that's coming out. Project
Project
L.
L, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh, we'll see what happens there. I mean, I'm curious what characters they'll introduce throughout the game because
Yeah.
obviously they're going to keep introducing new characters. That's what you do for every stick fighter, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Keep introducing new characters into the fighting game to keep it interesting. So I'm curious what they're going to pull. Obviously, they're going to be League of Legends heroes, but we'll see what they pull out.
Yeah. You played a couple stick fighters.
I love Fighter Z.
Okay.
I
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
love
Dragon
Fighters.
Fighter Z.
Dragon Ball Fighters goes crazy. I can't wait for the sequel because that's inevitable.
Okay, so you're definitely gonna play Project L then.
Yeah, why not? It sounds like it's going to be very fun.
Okay, we'll talk more about that and maybe the other. They have another type of project coming out too. It's based in Runeterra.
Oh, man. Yeah, dude.
All right, but I hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll talk more about that in the next episode, right here in the Brazen Hydra pub of Bilgewater. You can find me at Entgrove on socials and YouTube, and
You can find me, Conquest, at Conquest95 on Twitter.
to stay up to date on the goings on for this podcast, you can follow us at the Brazen Hydra on Twitter or head to thebrazenhydra.com. And you can feel free to throw us any questions, answers, anything you want to talk to us about on the Brazen Hydra. Let us know at the Brazen Hydra Twitter. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you in the next one.